ESPN Radio. All sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader. 102.7 WLME, Lewisport. 102.7 The Game.
Yeah, party's starting early today, isn't it?
That's clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up, and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner here in the Floor Concept Studios with Coach Vic Evans.
What's up, man? Welcome back.
Man, it's been a long day. Been on the road all day, but I made it back here to the Floor Concept Studios, and we'll continue these football previews. It's Hancock County Hornet Day today. We'll do the ceiling and floor on them. We got Coach Eubanks here in just a second. We got Dano's LA5 coming up for you. Going to cover a ton of topics on the back half of the show as well, but the Green River Area Federal Credit Union Hotline has Coach Bob Eubanks with the Hancock County Hornets. Coach, you with us?
Yeah, got you, man.
All right, man. Thanks for giving us some time. I know it's a busy time of year out there, obviously. How's summer going for you guys? You know, big turnover in the senior roster last year, but I know you got a very talented group. Talk about how things have been going for you.
Yeah, everything's been going super great. You know, we've got plenty of guys coming out, and even though we're losing that many kids, we've been able to have a point in our program where we were able to develop some kids through our JV program, and so it's now their turn to kind of take off and see how they handle the pressures of being a varsity football player. So we're excited about them stepping up and doing that.
Absolutely, and we had your athletic director on a couple of weeks ago, and talking about that beautiful new turf. How's that facility treating you guys over there?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Here the GN Excavating Stadium, as it's called now, with the turf and just the space and the lines and knowing where you're at on the field. And I mean, it's phenomenal. To come out here, it's hard to believe we've got it. When I'm sitting here looking at it right now, it gives you like a nice small college feel when you walk out on the field. It's really cool.
Yeah, and we talked about the overturn, the big seniors, but you've had a lot of success. When you talk about building a program, it's not just at the varsity level. I mean, your program trickles all the way down into even the middle school level. A ton of success there, and these kids have experienced winning at pretty much every level. Talk about this group and being able to coach a different group, and it's a brand new team. Yeah,
it started back whenever we made the switch over to KFL. When we went from our own little Pee Wee league into the KFL group that we've been in now for the last 5 or 6 years. And now we're starting to see those kids that played together all that time coming up through the ranks through middle school into high school. Now our junior class is the first group of kids that we had that played through that. And numbers have been great. We got, even though we lost 18, we have 50 still. And typically in a school our size, you lose 18, then you're looking at maybe 25 coming back. So we've been able to kind of maintain numbers and keep that roster going. And that's kind of and for me as a coach who's been here for a long time, 8 years, now as a head coach, having the numbers kind of be consistent and being able to develop those kids, that's a good sign for our program to be able to do that, and kids just slide right in. And once we kind of get that rolling here this year, and the next several years, staying consistent with that, I think our program will be on really solid footing.
A new quarterback this year, Dylan Moore's taking the reins. I know on video on Twitter, he looks good to me. Talk about a little bit about his development as the quarterback this year.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that, like I said, he's been running our JV program, our JV offense for the last 2 years, and had a lot of success with his teammates in that. And, he spent a lot of time behind Cole. Cole Dixon was great for us for 4 years. So it's Dylan's turn. He's earned it, and he spent a lot of time over the off season at QB Vision down in Nashville, and getting some reps down there, learning how to play the position a little bit, from a different perspective than maybe what our offense is. So it's been really great for him to come out and see him through the the 7-on-7 circuit, and then on into early preseason right now.
You graduate, Coach, your top 3 runners from last year. You do return, Jack Roberts, Nicholas Basham, who combined for about 220 yards on 24 carries last year. How's the backfield looking?
Yeah, we're looking, Alex and Jack, they're two different style guys. Alex is a big, strong dude. He's, 6 foot, 260 pounds, 250 pounds. and he runs a 4.640, so he's a load carrying the football, and so it's going to be exciting to kind of watch him run. And then Jack is real smooth, man, with the ball. He kind of reminds me of a young Christian McCaffrey, where he just kind of glides in and out. He's got good feet, good hands, good, and good speed off the ball too.
Yeah, and those guys up front, that should be a strength, I feel like, for you guys, is that offensive line. It kind of is going to help that run game and help quarterback just getting his feet wet in varsity experience.
Yeah, it's on the offensive side of the ball. We have three starters coming back, and they're all linemen, which is a good thing, but so we got to get a few younger guys going, in that position, but they're definitely one of our strengths is our guys up front on both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
As we jump to the other side of the ball, Coach, you do return Ross Pyers, Aiden Weatherholt. They both combined for about 235 tackles last year. Who are some other people for us to be on the lookout for in a new revamped defense?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, Wyatt Emick is playing one of our DNs. He's a strong physical kid. He's fast. Aiden Embry, he's coming off a knee injury that, ACL tore last year, so he's rehabbed that. He's coming back, and he was going to be a force for us last year until the injury. But, those are a couple guys up front that we're really looking at, getting a lot of production out of. Of course, Ross and Aiden, those two. Aiden's been with us for a while, man, and he's as tough as they come. And one of, by the time he's done, he'll probably be one of the best linebackers that we've had down here. And, some of our guys on the back end, Cooper Jones, he's a guy that played a little corner for us as a freshman last year. He's a sophomore now. Hayden Sharon, he's going to play one of our safeties too. And, he saw a lot of special teams action, the last few years, as freshman, sophomore, and this year it's time to, step up. So, he's been looked really good here early on with 7-on-7 in preseason.
As you're listening to Live at 5, Vic Evans, Stephen A. Turner, we're on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union Hotline. Coach Eubanks from Hancock County. And, Coach, huge change this year. Hancock moving to 3A, so you've got new district opponents, new opponents that you haven't played in a while. How's the excitement level with just the move to 3A and the new district?
Yeah, it's created a little bit of energy around the program. You kind of when you keep playing the same people year in, year out, you kind of get used to it, and it just kind of seems kind of rote. But we made the move, and we're playing some teams that we haven't played, and it's just kind of exciting. It's kind of energized the coaching staff a little bit too, just because, we got to prepare for guys that we don't really know a whole lot about. So we got to spend some extra time making sure we get our kids ready. It's kind of like a playoff feel, as far as prep goes when you're really thinking about it, because you don't really not know that team, don't know the coach, don't know the tendencies. So we really got to pay attention to some of those things early on. So, we're excited about it overall as a program.
Now, Coach, I've got to ask you, because it's year 2 of the Battle of the Bridge, and we saw the crowd. We were up there to tailgate before that game against Tell City, and it was a monster crowd at Hancock County. How about going over to Legion Field this year at Tell City and taking on the Marksmen?
Yeah, I mean, they're a tough football team, man, and their conference that they play in over there, it is a tough one to be in, so, we will definitely not take them for granted at all, because they are a tough football squad, and, and Coach Webb over there's got them going, and the longer they're in that system, they run it well, and their kids are tough-nosed, and so it's going to be a battle over there. It was a 13-6, 13-7 game last year, so, we're looking for that to be not a whole lot of difference this year.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for giving us some time. We'll have you all year long over there on WBO 94.7 for all the Hornet fans and the Third Region Sports Network, and looking forward to getting some tailgates under our belts with you guys as well.
Joe Chrysler and Ty Cowan have both told me they're fired up about the new press box. It's not just the new field. Yeah. They're fired up about the new press box over there at GN Excavating Stadium and Schaefer Glover Field.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. We're super excited, for you guys to come down and see it, and kind of, until you see it in person, you don't really understand the scope of how much work was done. And like I said, we are super grateful to come down here and for anybody else to come down and visit with us and watch games and, try to enjoy the view that they get from the rock down here.
Absolutely. Coach, good luck to you guys, and we'll see you soon.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Coach Bob Eubanks there, the Hancock County Hornets head man, and I'm pretty bullish on this Hancock County team. I think a lot of people just look, every year you look at what lost production-wise, and you automatically assume certain things, and I think I assume a little bit differently about this team. We'll talk about that next. We'll do a little ceiling and floor on the Hancock County Hornets next, live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Green River Area Federal Credit Union has been serving the Owensboro community since 1959. With that comes being a proud supporter of not only area high school athletics, but also partnering with Live at 5, the #1 sports show in Western Kentucky. With a wide array of products to meet your financial needs, come see what a difference it makes when you partner with a local community credit union. Visit our new website, greenriverafcu.com, or stop by and see us today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
EI Sports and Apparel is focused on bringing you quality team uniforms and equipment. They are a full youth sports dealer with all the work done in-house, so all deadlines are met with top-notch quality. They have all the equipment you need for whatever sport you need it. They're an official Adidas dealer, so football, baseball, and soccer cleats, they have the pair that you're looking for. Find them just across the river on Plaza East Boulevard in Evansville or online at eisportsandapparel.com.
Looking for a way to give back to our local farmers? Cromwell Media presents Meal in the Field. We feed a farmer every Tuesday, starting in September, thanks to your nominations. Visit owensbororadio.com to nominate a farmer who deserves a fresh, locally sourced meal on us. And we want to give a super big thanks to our supporting sponsors: Electrical Equipment Repair, Superior Ag, Rudolph Brothers and Rockport Equipment, and Doozy Doe's Bakery. Nominate your favorite farmer today at owensbororadio.com.
Hi, this is Travis Holtree of Foreman Watson Holtree. You know, our attorneys are dedicated to you and committed to justice, just like the crew from Live at 5, who are also dedicated to bringing you all local sports coverage and committed to doing it justice by spotlighting all of our local athletes and coaches. That's why FWH Legal is proud to bring you the Live at 5 show on Owensboro ESPN station. Join Steve Turner and Vic Evans for Live at 5 each weekday at 5 o'clock right here on 102.7 The Game. Brought to you as always by Foreman Watson Holtree. Dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
Are you ready to embark on a flavor adventure like no other? Look no further than Feta Pizza's August Pizza of the Month, the Gorgonzola Pear Pizza. A luscious pear puree base, topped with creamy mozzarella, succulent slices of ripe juicy pears, perfectly complemented by the bold and tangy Gorgonzola blue cheese, and crunchy delight of toasted pecans. And to finish it off, a handful of fresh arugula, drizzled with our zesty lemon vinaigrette, all on our hand-tossed house-made dough, made fresh daily. Get it whole or by the slice. Feta Pizza, just beside Smothers Park.
Addiction does not discriminate. Anyone that's struggling with substance use can call in to us. Call 8338-KY-HELP. People are struggling and they need hope and compassion and to know they're not alone. All you have to do is pick up the phone. Call 8338-KY-HELP. And on the other side of that phone is endless hope and endless help.
Kentucky is here to help you. Call 8338-KY-HELP or visit the website findhelpnowky.org to begin your journey to recovery. Paid for by the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy.
Can't sleep hotline.
I can't sleep.
Okay, let's try the sound of waves rolling in.
Weird.
How about a new mattress?
Fisher's Furniture and Appliance is your hometown choice dealer. Looking for a new mattress? Stop by and check out all Bowles Mattresses. Bowles Mattresses is the exclusive mattress supplier for the West Peyton Springs Hotel, nationally recognized as one of the top-rated sleep hotels in the country. So if you want the ultimate rest, come get your Bowles mattress from Fisher's Furniture and Appliance on Main Street in Tell City at gofishers.com.
Hi, I'm Karen Gross, Realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. My new listing in Lansdowne has been well maintained and could be perfect for you. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car attached garage with just over 1,500 square feet. If you're interested, call or text me at 270-315-9810. To view all area listings, my website is KarenGross.net. I'm Karen Gross, and your dream is my mission.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5 brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Nice to be back here in the Floor Concept Studios, and a big thanks to Coach Eubanks. I know how busy it is getting prepared, especially scrimmages tomorrow night, man. We're firing this thing up and looking forward to getting out and getting some eyes on some local teams. But before we get into this ceiling and floor, we got a great event here at Cromwell. We do it every year, and looking forward to it again this year.
It's that time of year for us to take care of the farmers. So if you got a farmer that you're a big fan of, make sure you go to owensbororadio.com/Meal in the Field. Nominate your farmer to try to win. It's Meal in the Field. You know, hey, what farmer doesn't need to have us to bring Culver's out there in the field for a big lunch party?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. You know, I was listening on the way over here on Jack, and it was one of my favorite stations here at Cromwell, listening to Mel give the news, and I heard My 1998 Apollo graduate partner there, Gary Cecil, won Farmer of the Year. So congratulations to Gary Cecil. We got some farmer. That FFA class we had over there was strong.
There you
Apollo
go.
98. Danny Leonard, I think, was like something to do with agriculture here, and he graduated with me too. So we got some big time farmers around
It's
here.
always one of our favorite things to do is to pack up and take they're busy. When you get in the fall time and and to go out there and to present them with a nice lunch out there in the fields and just to show our appreciation for everything that the farmers do here for us.
Yeah, lunch provided by Culver's. Doesn't get much better than that, so be sure and check them out. A meal in the field. Make your nominations now. And let's transition over back to Hancock County football here. First two segments dominated by Hancock County's preview, and we'll look at the ceiling and floor. And once again, Vic, doing these, and I was talking to Chris before we came in because he's trying to get some background on. He's doing his homework.
That's always good.
I think we're going to be in good shape on the game of the week here on 102.7, and trying to be plugged in to some of these teams that we just haven't covered. You see a team like they've won 7 games, and you're like, man, that's impressive. That's a good year. And then you start diving into some of the teams that they beat, and it's like, well, were they that good? How will our teams stack up? So right now the unknown is pretty strong, especially in the 3A ranks, which was where Hancock.
Yeah, because we've never covered the 3A. If you think about it, we didn't have a team there.
No. I mean, most of these.
And now
teams,
it's only got 3.
I know a little. I know a little bit about some of the teams in this district more than I did yesterday in Butler. I mean, Butler, those teams are foreign to me.
Yes.
I mean, that's a weird schedule. But you heard Coach Eubanks say excitement even in the coaching staff.
Yeah,
and it's easy to see. It's easy to understand why, because it's not. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but when you're in Catholic's district, no matter how good you're going to be, that's going to be a tall task.
Yep.
I mean, you're not playing probably for a district title. You're more than likely playing to host a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, all of our 3A teams, Hancock, Butler, and McLean, are all playing for district titles this year. And,
Yeah,
and
I
not
think
only
so,
that,
too.
but sky's the limit on the ceiling and the floor thing. I mean, you're looking at our top 5 and our top 10s are going to be teams full of winning records.
Yep,
I mean, because
there's no doubt
we're going to have some really nice records in our teams around the area, and they don't have to beat up on each other.
Yes.
And now Hancock and McLean are still in the same district. So let's go ahead and jump into the ceiling and floor.
Well, they open up with John Harden at home. They get the first 2 games at home in that brand new GN Excavating Stadium, Schaefer Glover Field at GN Excavating Stadium. I've got to go. You got to on a ceiling type thing. It's got to be 2-0.
Oh, I think there's no doubt.
And I'm not sure even on the floor it can't be 2-0.
Right, John Harden and Breck at home. Everybody in that community is going to want to come out and see that beautiful new facility. It's going to be rocking. We're going to have both games, obviously, on WBIO with the Third Region Sports Network. It's going to be great, man.
Yeah, 2-0.
And I do agree. I think even in a floor type of year, I think you're off to a red hot start. And the Hornets were last year too. It's a matter of sustaining that. But 2-0, I think ceiling or floor, I'm giving them 2-0.
Then you go to Ohio County, and I think in a floor there you're starting 3-0, or a ceiling there you're starting at 3-0.
And I'm not so sure it's not. I would be shocked if they don't start 3-0.
I would too.
I would be very surprised.
I would too. And then comes the big one. You got at home versus McLean in the district game out there on the new turf with McLean County's Fear the Wing come in. We'll have it. Listen to that game on BIO or 97.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a dual stations with the hometown support.
Yep.
And both teams. We'll do the ceiling and floor on McLean, I believe, on Monday. But both teams should be 3-0. So you talk about both teams 3-0. It's a district game still, new district. They already are a rival.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's the game early on. That's you talk about Owensboro Catholic, and Owensboro will be a huge one.
That's the same week.
But this one, I mean that's a big week, man.
It is a big week.
A big week.
I think
week 4.
I think even in a ceiling or a floor, it would be hard for me to pick Hancock in a win there. I just think McLean's going to be dominant up front.
Just McLean has more knowns at this point. So, I mean, at the end of it, I don't know. I'll tell you right now, if this thing comes together like it can for Hancock County, this is certainly a game they can win.
No, there's no doubt they can win.
But I think if you have to look at it.
McLean would be the Vegas betting favorite right now.
There's no doubt. Yeah. So I think in a ceiling year, maybe it's a game they do win. But I'll put them at 3-1 at this point.
Then they got the Battle of the Bridge where they go over to Legion Field in Tell City and take down the Marksmen, and that'll be another one that will be a packed house, and ought to be a great game. And another one of those dual radios. You can find it on CJ and on WBIO.
You know, this game last year was eye-opening to me because when we covered Tell City during the COVID time, football in southern Indiana, in that area at least, in Evansville you get to the area where they run the spread and all that, but you get to that area over there, and it's old school.
Still ground and pound.
Smash mouth, run the football, play good defense. And I just didn't know how that would stack up. Again, I thought in the back of my mind, we make these top 10s and you go pound for pound, but you don't really know because the two teams don't face off. But I'm going to be honest. In the back of my mind, I thought Hancock County's going to roll them. They're going to beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
It didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. Tell City controlled the entire game, and that was at a time when Hancock County was, I believe, number one in our poll and undefeated.
Yeah.
So Tell City, very physical. And this is a game over there. It's going to be a tough one.
I think with these two games back-to-back, even in a ceiling year, it's 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which I'd put them at 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah. Then you got the road trips. You go at Trigg and at Webster.
See, I don't know a ton about Trigg, but it's on the road. It's a tough ball game. In a ceiling year, it's a win.
Yes.
In a floor year, it's a loss.
Yes.
So I think,
I think probably the same thing at Webster.
I think they get Webster either way.
Okay.
So, I mean, you think about what are they sitting at this point? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-1?
6-1 going into home
Union.
Against Union, and that'll be a tailgate night out there at Union, at Paulson Stadium.
Right.
On a Thursday night probably.
But if you lose to any more district games after the McLean County one, the likelihood of hosting a home playoff game.
You got to win that one to host a game.
I'd say Union's going to be tough.
Yep.
I think. Either way.
Right. And then you finish the year at Hopkins County Central and at home against Grayson. And I think it's 2-0 in a ceiling season.
In a ceiling season, yeah, 2-0. So that puts them at about 7 or 8 wins.
7 or 8 wins.
As a ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the floor, even at the floor, I think I'd be hard pressed to think they lose more than. I
think the floor for them is probably 4-6, 5-5, right in that area.
Yeah. I 4 was my bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, that'd be the
basement.
basement.
Be a bad season.
That'd be the basement.
Yeah, 500 even in a mid year, I think is probably where you'll be.
I think they're gonna.
I think
they're gonna end up second in the district with the home playoff game behind.
I got them third in the district, behind Union and McLean.
Okay,
but if that happens,
you get Union at home. That's going to come.
Right,
that game may very well come down to the winner of that one host a playoff game.
Union's been trending in a better. They did lose a little bit.
They lost quite a bit.
Yeah, they did. But they've been that's been a program that's kind of been tough.
Yeah,
this is a little bit of a step
real
up.
Physical. That'd be a tough physical game. That's another team's going to come in there and pound you on the ground.
This is a team that beat Catholic last year,
right?
So that gives you kind of the apples and oranges of the deal. But let's just say hypothetically they did come in third behind McLean and Union. You're on the road first round. Where are you going?
Maybe Butler County.
Maybe Butler County in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That
right?
would be cool.
I talked about that yesterday.
Yep.
If McLean or Hancock finishes third, I like Butler as second in that district. So then you could see that old rivalry renewed in 3A in a first-round playoff game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be an interesting year out there at GN Excavating Stadium.
I'm bullish on Hancock. I think games are won and lost up front. And we've talked to a lot of coaches recently. They talk about, varsity experience is very important. I think Coach Hotto was one that really highlighted that. A lot of guys getting thrust into the varsity level. They've been really good at JV, but it's a different animal. That's going to tell the tale because these guys have won at every single level, the middle school level, the freshman level, the JV level. Now can they transition that into wins at the varsity level?
But having a 3 offensive linemen back will be key for them. And I think they're going to have to be the ones early to lead that team and let Morris get his feet wet out there at quarterback. I still think they're going to spread the ball around. And then what receivers step forward to take over for Count and Velaco? I mean, those. I'm just saying. You're losing Count and Velaco, which were 2 nice targets.
Yeah, no, most certainly. I mean, they're going to have to they're going to have to produce. I mean, make no mistake. But I tell you, the guy on the defensive side of the ball, Aiden Weatherholt's an absolute animal.
A stud.
He's going to be a stud over there. I think that front seven is going to be pretty good for them. So that's a pretty good place to start.
Yes.
You're going to hang your hat on your front seven and your offensive line. You know, talking to Trevor Garrison a little bit, Christian Yanez, a freshman to watch coming up. He led him in receptions and yards, I believe, throughout the 7-on-7 season. Alex Madden at the tight end spot is another guy. And you're going to hear a name later. There's a question on the LA5. I think this guy's in for a huge season offensively. I'm going to give it away. I've been trying to keep these things close to my vest because this Lux fantasy football, but I'm just going to let it. I'm going to represent.
Let it all go out. There you go.
And let them hang out. I think Hancock's in for a great year. Looking forward to having them all year long on WBIO. We'll take a break. Come back. Little Dano's LA5 live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Jordans, Nikes, Yeezys, and more. If you're a shoe enthusiast, you know these shoes are hard to come by. Well, not anymore. Now open in Owensboro, Kickin' It is bringing you all these name brands and more. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Kickin' It not only sells shoes, but as enthusiasts, they buy and trade as well. Be sure to check out their collection of vintage, single stitch, and designer clothing. Kickin' It is located at 201 Salem Drive. Be sure to check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Kickin' It 270.
Need a way to beat the heat? Stop by Dano's Cigar Lounge on Highway 54 to grab a cold drink along with a premium cigar out of the largest walk-in humidor in the area. We have a great selection of bourbons and beers to pair with the cigar of your liking. Join us on Thursday nights for Bike Night from 6 to 9 p.m. with live music and beer specials. We are open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, located on Highway 54 next to Papa Grande. Visit Dano's Cigar Lounge. Smoke, sip, socialize.
Are you ready to take your ride to the next level? Look no further than Lux Detailing and Window Tint. Our skilled technicians will have your car looking its best in no time with our top-of-the-line detailing and lifetime warranted window tinting services. But why stop there? Protect your investment with our System X ceramic coatings, the ultimate in paint protection and Carpex certification. Say goodbye to chips, scratches, and fading paint. System X ceramic coatings keeps your cars looking like new for years to come. At Lux Detailing and Window Tint, we're dedicated to bringing you the very best in car care services. Visit us today and discover the Lux difference, where luxury meets performance. Lux Detailing and Window Tint.
Hi, this is Travis Holtry of Foreman Watson Holtry. You know, our attorneys are dedicated to you and committed to justice, just like the crew from Live at 5, who are also dedicated to bringing you all local sports coverage and committed to doing it justice by spotlighting all of our local athletes and coaches. That's why FWH Legal is proud to bring you the Live at 5 show on Owensboro ESPN station. Join Steve Turner and Vic Evans for Live at 5 each weekday at 5 o'clock right here on 102.7 The Game. Brought to you as always by Foreman Watson Holtry. Dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
It's about that time of year for family reunions, weddings, and company picnics. Let Bill and Dave's Smoking Pit cater your next get-together. We offer a wide variety of premium meats, sides, and so much more that you can customize to fit your needs. Check out our catering options at BillDaveSmokingPit.com and book your next event with us, and your guests will be raving about our food long after your event is over. Bill and Dave's Smoking Pit in Tell City. You can taste the difference.
It's more than just your lawn. It's your fairway to heaven. It deserves the Kubota Z400. Class-leading speed, agility, a powerful transmission, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort, convenience, and performance, then you need professional-grade Kubota Z400 series. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Check them out today at Hagen's Outdoor Equipment with 3 locations to serve you. Highway 54 in Philpott, Salem Drive in Owensboro, and Power Machinery on Highway 41 in Hanson. We appreciate your business.
Community Calendar on 102.7 The Game is brought to you by Robert Edge with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Call 270-683-1715.
It's the Bluegrass Legends Experience at the Owensboro Sports Center in Moreland Park, just off Parrish Avenue at 1215 Hickman Avenue, August 18th, 19th, and 20th. This car show has a food truck rally, vendor show and craft auto, outdoor live music in the park, a beer garden, a swap meet, and over 200 show awards and hourly prizes. There's only a $20 per vehicle entry fee. In this car show, cars, trucks, Jeeps, motorcycles, and rat rods are welcome. Go to LegendsCarShowOBKY.com. Proceeds go to help St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Again, the Bluegrass Legends Experience Car Show.
Find the 102.7 The Game Community Calendar on OwensboroRadio.com or on the Owensboro Radio app. We are Kentuckiana's sports leader, 102.7 The Game.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Coach Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. Kicking it. Text lines wide open. You want to chime in on any of these upcoming Danos questions, or if you have
the floor ceiling for
Hancock County, 270-903-0389. As always, kicking it. Text line wide open. Let's jump into this, though. Danos, LA5. It's bike night. It's pretty good weather. I mean considering
it's cooler,
what it has
a lot
been, right?
cooler off. Yeah, go out there at Highway 54 and join the great group out there at Danos. I mean, it's a great place to be. And I'll give you question number 1.
All right.
Carly Lloyd is coming under fire for her criticism of the United States women's national team. Is it part of sports that there's the analysis that you have to be able to criticize teams when they don't play well? Or is the women's nationals team just you can't criticize them? I thought they wanted equal pay. Don't they get criticized too when they don't play well?
Well, Rapinoe, you can't criticize her.
Oh, yeah.
On any level, whether it be her performances on the field. It's all political.
Yeah,
that's the whole media.
But they're not playing. I mean, let's be honest.
Sports.
Let's be honest. The women's national team at the World Cup is not playing well. Now, I'm not saying they won't turn it around when it gets into the knockout round, but in pool play, they didn't play very well. And probably should have not got to knockout round. Probably should have lost last night or the other night.
I mean, I might as well be talking about, I don't know. Anything.
I might as well be
talking about barometric pressure or something, right? I mean, I literally have as much interest in watching a paint dry on a wall than watching.
They're the one team in the world that you can't criticize. That's all I know is what I find out. And what she said wasn't bad. It was,
she said it's a group of individuals who are not playing as a team. I checked it out. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not winning. I mean, it's just like people that are Kentucky fans that come at you for criticizing Cal and like, you're so negative all the time. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to be positive about over the past 5 years? It's the same thing. I mean, I don't care what your politics are. Are you winning? That's all that matters.
That's all you
sports.
Care. Yeah, it's sports.
Sports.
Yes, it's wins and losses.
I don't care who Megan Rapinoe voted for. Is that her name, Megan Rapinoe?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is. Who she voted for. How many goals did she score? What was the final score of the last game she played in?
That's all you care
I think it was
about.
A big fat L, right? Then we're going to criticize her because that's what sports talk radio is. It'd be kind of boring if you just sang Kumbaya after every loss.
There you go. Question number 2. Sunday is the Big Machine Nashville Grand Prix. You can catch it right here on 102.7 The Game, brought to you by Battery Headquarters. It's been announced that starting next year, the Nashville Grand Prix will be the final race of the season. Does it get any better? Isn't Broadway the perfect place to crown an Indy champion? I mean, it's going to be a party.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And I hear the track next year is supposed to be down there somewhere and incorporate South Broadway.
Yeah, they were going to reconfigure it a little bit. We drove through there today on our way back from the beach, and it was pouring down rain, so the setup probably wasn't fun. But you can see the grandstands there. Of course, they drive over the bridge. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have that here. I think Nashville is blowing up.
It's a much better place than the Laguna where they host it now. I know. I'll say this. I know the sponsors, because that's the last race you go out and you bring out a bunch of sponsors out there on the beach.
Well, you can do that now. Nashville.
You can do that in Nashville now.
Nashville. I don't know if anybody's been to Nashville lately, but it's comparable to Vegas. I mean, it is. You say Nash Vegas, kind of a smaller version. I don't know if anybody's been to Broadway lately, but go walk down Broadway on a random Wednesday night and then go walk down the Strip on a Wednesday night. I mean, it's comparable.
What I think they ought to do is let the bridal parties jump in the cars and drive around Nashville.
Man. The only thing I'm worried about in Nashville is that they need to get this fairgrounds thing voted through so I can go to some races there and enjoy NASCAR back at the best track in the United States, and that's the fairgrounds.
Well,
they're voting on that coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Like I said, make sure you check out the Big Machine Grand Prix down there in Nashville. That'll be fun.
It's a fun race to watch. Yeah. That really is a fun race to watch. They go over the bridge there. Everybody knows that bridge.
And if you look at it, since they've had, the third year now, the winner has come from the 14th position and the 18th position. I mean,
that's unheard of for you being an F1 fan,
yeah,
right?
Well, even in the Indy, you don't find that very
really,
often.
No.
So I think that's one thing, too, is it's an exciting race with a lot of wrecks, a lot of crashes. People move up. It ought to be a lot of fun. Question number 3 here on the Danos LA5. Tomorrow's media day for UK football. Let's do a sit and floor real quick for UK football.
Okay. All right. We got plenty of time. We're early here.
All right. There we go.
I'm not used to that.
Is there any way UK doesn't start 3-0? Or actually 4-0.
4-0.
You think they should? You got
even in a floor year.
Ball State. You got Ball State, Eastern, Akron. That's 3 wins. Now you do have to go at Vandy. I mean, Leah down there turning some things in Vanderbilt. But you got Vanderbilt's rusher's going to run for like 400 yards against his own team.
What's the spread in week 1? Because Caleb said, it was like 28, right? I mean, and Caleb was like hammer. Was it Ball State?
Yeah, hammer Ball State.
Yeah, hammer Ball State because because Kentucky always struggles out of the gate no matter who it's against. I mean,
not with Leary.
I can't. No, I really think this team's got a shot. I mean, they got a shot to be really good.
So you got them 4-0.
Yeah, ceiling on a floor.
Ceiling is
if they lose a game through the first 4 weeks, just write the season off.
Okay,
I mean, honestly.
Then it gets a little difficult. You go at home against Florida. Florida's down. Napier's struggling down there in Florida. Ceiling year, they go 5-0.
Absolutely, it's 5-0. Yeah, okay, no doubt.
And then you go at Georgia. Think about this though. Georgia's going to be 5-0 because their schedule's even worse than Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or it's about as bad as Kentucky.
This is everything.
You can have UK at Florida, the 3:30 game on whatever, 5-0 and 5-0 playing each other.
Yeah, and then Kentucky loses even in a ceiling year.
Probably so.
But, I mean, what we're just talking about is everything that's wrong with college football, man. Like, you go a month before you play a game that's even worth watching.
It may be changing with the reconfiguration of conferences that are coming up.
I mean, I get it. I understand it. And this is what I was talking about. And I'm getting on a tangent because we're going to talk about conferences here in a minute. But this is exactly what I'm talking about with the conference thing and college football needing to figure it out. There's just not enough important games. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you can't expand the playoffs because the regular season's so important. But it feels like there's so many weeks through the college football season that are just snooze fest.
Oh, I agree with that. And let's be honest, I love what Kentucky football's done. It's time for them to upgrade their non-conference schedule.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, no one else does. Yeah, look at what Michigan did. I mean,
Michigan's is bad. Michigan
awful. Proved last year that you can schedule
11 wins and play
Division II teams and play your Big Ten schedule and go undefeated, and then boom, you beat Ohio State and you're in the you're in the dance.
And it's gonna. Do you think it gets worse when they expand to 12 teams?
Maybe, but I mean, here's the thing: at the end of the day, at least you're gonna have more important games at the end of the year. At least you can look forward to that. Right now, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so then we're now sitting there at 5-1. Then you go at home against Missouri. Ceiling year, that's a win, right?
Ceiling year, it's a win. Missouri is sneaky though.
Okay, well I have 6-1. Then you got home against Tennessee.
I mean, ceiling year is a win, but it's a tough. I mean,
that's a roof because they've only beat Tennessee like 3 times in 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, right. That's going to be a tough game.
They're taking down Tennessee because one, we got to get Sarah Blake Cheek. Has got to be wearing a UK. They got to wear a UK outfit when they do that. So it's got to be
sing Rocky Top.
Yeah. So we
You volunteered me for that.
I volunteered you for that. We have to sing Rocky Top. So I'm going UK win.
And that's at Kentucky.
It's at Kentucky.
Man, that's going to be a tough game.
Already sold out.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Kentucky wins that game.
Okay. Then you go at Mississippi State.
I mean, that's a win.
Okay.
They struggle there all the time, but that's a win.
Right.
Mississippi State's putting the pieces back together.
Then you get home against Alabama late in the year where it's going to be hopefully snowing and cold.
Well, man,
do you have a chance?
Just so happens I got to hear Saban talking today. He's not real happy with the quarterback situation.
No. I mean, Tyler Buckner may be your quarterback, and I wasn't a big fan of his at Notre Dame's.
I know you're going to have Notre Dame's offensive coordinator and their quarterback.
And we weren't fans of either one.
They'll be great. I mean, both. Reese will call the greatest plays. It's just how Saban does. He's a wizard like that. Yeah, I mean, even in a ceiling year, this would be crazy. I mean, they have more of a chance to beat Alabama than they do Georgia.
Probably so. Tommy Reese and Tyler Buckner can help them with that.
I'm not so sure. I'm not going to go that far.
You going to pull the upset for the Crimson Tide? Call it out, Steve.
I'm saying I'm not so sure they don't have a better chance of beating Alabama than they do Tennessee.
I know you're not a Reese guy at all.
I'm not at all. I
hated by the time. Hold on. But by the time Alabama gets to Kentucky, Reese may be fired.
Listen, Nick Saban, the assistants that he hires, they're stars. I mean, Nick Saban knows more about football than I've ever
I will say this,
so I'm going to go ahead and put my stock into Saban and not me.
I will say this, though. the background and the production that, like, you know, Kiffin had and Bradley had was a lot better than what Tommy Rees had. This has been a little bit of a downgrade, I think, at the offensive coordinator's position. I still think Alabama wins the game, but we'll find out.
No, I agree.
Then you got at South Carolina, at Louisville to finish the year.
I mean, in the ceiling year, they win both of those.
So in the ceiling,
I'm so tired of this Spencer Rattler stuff. They have to take care of him.
Yes,
they have to.
No, they should have won last year's game. They didn't have They might as well had me and you play quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the way it kind of went there. Yeah, I agree. With Cohen there, I think they're going to be closer to their ceiling to their floor.
So you got the ceiling at 10-2.
10, yeah.
Now, I think that's a true ceiling. And in a couple of years, 10-2 in the SEC may get you in the playoffs.
It might, yeah.
With 12 teams.
It absolutely might, except for the fact that the two lost. Well, yeah, I mean, if you were to beat one of the three, Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama, then yeah, you might be in that conversation. You might be right. Floor, it's still a bowl, right? I mean,
I think the floor is 7-5, and
yeah,
it would be a
7.
really disappointing year.
Yeah, I agree. I said 6 or 7. 6 would be a miserable year.
Yep.
7 would be pretty close to that. I think Liam Cohen, you know, I can't wait to see this offense. And I think Stoops, like I said, that's what he does on defense. They actually have a special teams coach now. Maybe they'll be able to kick an extra point.
Maybe. I think with Leary and with Barry and Brown, who's just named to the Horning watch list, with Dane Key, with Robinson coming back, Isaiah Cummings, I think this is going to be one of the most explosive UK offenses that we've seen in a long time. And it all goes to whether or not Liam Cohen can fix the big blue wall.
That's it. It's going to matter whether you can figure it out up front. On the Kicking It text line, Riley actually agreed with me that about the Alabama having a better chance to beat Alabama than Tennessee. I think it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Heupel's legit. I mean, I think he's changing things there, and I hate to say that. I know you don't like Tennessee.
Heck no, I don't.
But just see the writing on the wall. I mean,
I'm not a Milton
fan. Studying that offense a lot with Hendon Hooker in the draft, I see how much of a thumbprint he has on that offense, and it's
quarterback
impressive.
friendly.
It's impressive. Yeah.
Question number 4. I'm going to give you schools, and you're going to tell me what conference they will be playing in the year 2025.
Okay. Well, we're going to do this one, and then you can ask me 5, and we'll tease it for the break there.
So where will Arizona be?
Arizona be in the Big 12.
I agree.
Or the Big 40, or however many there's going to be in that conference when they're done.
All right. Florida State.
I've got a weird feeling that Florida State ends up in the SEC somehow.
It wouldn't surprise me. They're wanting out. They're wanting out bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be weird, but that's my pick. I'd say SEC.
Washington.
Big 10.
Big 10.
They feel like a Big 10 team.
I do.
You know, I can I talk about yesterday how you think of a school and the conference immediately comes to mind. I mean, I could see Washington in the Big 10.
Oregon.
Same thing for Oregon.
Oregon's got to go Big 10. I mean, Washington and Oregon got to figure out a way to get into the Big 10.
Agreed.
Utah.
Big 12, I
Big
guess.
12.
Yeah, I would assume.
Stanford.
I'll go Big 10 on them, too.
I will not go Big 10 on Stanford. Stanford's going to be an independent.
Oh. Is Notre Dame going to start their own
Hold on. We're getting Notre Dame in a minute. They're going to be an independent, or they will be in a rebranded Mountain West Conference Pac-12
Man, get out of here.
Consolidation. I'm just telling you.
College football.
Notre Dame. Where's Notre Dame going to be?
Independent. That's where the money's at.
Here's this. Listen, Notre Dame wants to stay independent. As the Big Ten adds 2 more teams, I think they're going to add Washington and Oregon. And then the SEC is going to add a couple. The Pac-12 is adding 4. Notre Dame doesn't want. They're the biggest chip out there. Notre Dame is going to sign an alliance with the SEC.
The SEC?
The SEC. That's where Notre Dame's going to be.
No way. I can't see it.
I think that now, will they join full time, or will it be a lot like
the ACC alliance,
where they're going to play 6 SEC games every year, 7 SEC games every year? Notre Dame.
That would be the worst thing Notre Dame could do because they're going to get steamrolled.
We'll find, but it helps with recruiting. I just think Notre Dame's going to have in the SEC.
Stay away from the SEC at all costs, Irish.
North Carolina.
Oklahoma's going to become an afterthought soon, so you don't want to be Oklahoma.
North Carolina.
ACC. You think they'll leave?
I think. Well, Florida State leaves. What does the ACC do? I don't know. I think
we talked about this 3 days in a row now.
I love this alignment.
we got to figure out maybe the homework for next week when we talk about the same thing is to find out how we would come together to fix it.
Yep.
Because right now, every day we're kind of just asking questions.
I know how I would fix it. I would have 4 conferences, and it works pretty easy. Think about this. The 4 teams that win the conference, you got 12 teams in your thing, right?
We're talking about strictly college football, though, too.
But,
you got to keep basketball in mind,
But the problem, though, is football pays the bills.
It does.
So it throws basketball out there. So if you have 4 super conferences, the 4 conference winners get a bid to the postseason. The best 4 runner-ups get a bid to the postseason, and 4 at large, it gets you 12.
Yeah, I mean, or expand it to 16, and it is what it is. Bottom line is you need to fix the conferences. There's so much unbalance, as we've discussed. It's going to be fun to see where the schools end up, but at the end of the day, I don't know what really matters. I mean, whoop-de-doo. Like I said yesterday, there's going to be so many teams in each conference, you're not going to be able to even play the teams in your conference.
Well, here's what's going to happen, or what could happen. Don't be surprised if the Big Ten doesn't take multiple. I think they take Washington and Oregon for sure. But maybe they take like 5 or 6 of them, so you have a West Coast part of the Big Ten. You move Nebraska out that way. You move Iowa State out that way, or Iowa out that way. And all of a sudden you have like the winners of each division of the conference get a bowl bid, and the runner-ups meet in the Rose Bowl. And it's like the Pac-10 under the Big Ten umbrella, and ESPN steps in and saves the day, and they get like Big Ten After Dark, which is all Pac-10 teams. That way you get rid of the ones you didn't want.
That's the only thing the Pac-10 or Pac-12 or whatever is good for is you get the late night games.
the Pac-12 after dark. But the problem is nobody wants to pay for your Cals and your Oregon States and your Washingtons. If you got Pac-12 after dark and it's USC hosting Michigan, people are going to watch that
for sure. No, I like that.
I think you might watch to see
some branding. I like it.
No, see if you get like a Pac-10 Big Ten. Question number 5.
See if we can get Gilbert Gottfried to host up all night with Pac-10 football.
Give me 3 names that maybe the general football public here in Owensboro don't know yet, that by week 5 of the high school football season, they're going to know.
All right, I got some names.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll give you those names live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Mack Industrial Services and Coatings provides labor and high-powered water blast and vac services to local power plants, granaries, paper mills, refineries, aluminum and steel plants, along with many others. With locations in Mount Vernon and Evansville, Indiana, right off Highway 41, they can service the entire tri-state area. They are growing and expanding their services, so give them a call at 812-202-6146 for all your local plant support needs. Mack Industrial Services is family-owned and locally operated.
EI Sports and Apparel is focused on bringing you quality team uniforms and equipment. They are a full youth sports dealer with all the work done in-house, so all deadlines are met with top-notch quality. They have all the equipment you need for whatever sport you need it. They're an official Adidas dealer, so football, baseball, and soccer cleats, they have the pair that you're looking for. Find them just across the river on Plaza East Boulevard in Evansville or online at eisportsandapparel.com.
Insurance, protection for the things you love.
Let the experts at Home Mutual help protect your loved ones and assets with affordable life insurance and long-term care. At Home Mutual Insurance, we want to ensure that you have the right life insurance and long-term care policy that fits your needs. Contact Home Mutual today, 812-547-2363.
Home Mutual Insurance, protection for the things you love.
Looking for more storage in your kitchen and want to use the space above your cabinets? Well, Cabinet Doors and More can help with their pre-made 12-inch cabinets, ready to go. If that doesn't work for you, Cabinet Doors and More can build what you need. Just bring in your measurements and they work with you to design what you're looking for. Cabinet Doors and More off Highway 54 in Fordsville. That's why we are worth the drive. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Cabinet Doors and More.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
tonight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, a low 70. Partly sunny on Friday, a high of 87. Partly cloudy Friday night, low 71. Mostly sunny on Saturday, a 20% chance of rain, high of 90. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms, a low 73. Sunday, mostly sunny, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 90.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here, taking you home on a Thursday. And before we went to break, Dano's LA5 has turned into like the Dano's LA8 during the summer, but it is what it is. And let's talk about some big names. We're going to know, the public will know by week 5 of the high school season. They'll know these names.
Yeah, even bigger than what, maybe they're under the radar right now, but some guys that are going to blow up this year in high school football. Your predictions?
I'm going to say the Crow kid from Owensboro is at the top of the list.
Deion Crow.
Defensively,
yes, turns the corner
he's going to be a stud. I mean, because he's going to step in there. Jeremiah Goodwin, obviously that's a big space. At Pendleton, Zach Clark, and those guys. Crow's going to be a guy.
I like that one a lot.
He's going to be a stud defensively.
Yes.
Because you instantly think offense. Mm-hmm. The defensive guys, sometimes they go by the wayside on this show. Another Red Devil I really like is Chaden Morris. If they can find a way.
The quarterback position solidifies. I think he has a monster year.
Huge. Yeah, those are two guys. You said 3. But we're just going to roll right through some of these names.
Okay.
I think whoever wins the starting job for Apollo at the quarterback spot. Because you have a few guys in the mix.
About 4 of them out there in the mix.
I really wanted to get over there to that tomorrow, but with the River Park Center. But I will be getting reports from what's going on, so maybe we'll get some quarterback updates for you. I think they're scrimmaging Logan over there at the Eagles Nest. A big, I saw where they're letting all their students in for free throughout the year too, to the regular season games at Apollo. Love that.
Yes,
to get the crowd more.
That was all
involved.
Started by Catholic at the baseball level. They get a sponsor,
idea.
and all students got in for free.
Great, but whoever wins that job in the Coach Edge's offense, they got weapons. Eli Masterson. Everybody knows that name, so he's going to be one of the best receivers in the area. So that's going to be nice, and he's going to have a really good run game behind him as well. With some news of some shuffling, people may have known his name. They don't. They should have, because he had a pretty good year last year. But now, maybe Hurts, maybe a guy might be coming over to play receiver at Catholic, and now maybe not. So Warren Ebelhair,
I like that,
is a guy I think that could have a big impact at wide receiver.
I do. I think most people know Deuce Sims. But I look for him to have a monster year.
But is he playing? Is Deuce playing?
As far as I know, he is.
He's been playing baseball.
I know.
So is he? I don't know. I've heard he wasn't going to play. We're just doing this right here on the air. I don't know. That report. Not throwing Deuce under the bus.
And I have not heard that report. I know there was one receiver that got hurt and then, is not playing, but it wasn't Deuce.
Okay.
When I first heard they lost the receiver, that's what I was worried about, because he got baseball offers. He had shoulder problems.
Deuce is playing, I gotta fix these fantasy rankings. Deuce is in for a monster year.
I think so too.
If he plays.
As far as I know, I have not heard he's not playing.
I hope he is.
So I think he is.
I'll be doing a lot of Catholic games this year. Warren Ebelhair, Frick, any of those guys that can catch passes from Brady Atwell, they're in for big-time years. But I'll tell you, I'll give you a name that's way down the list a lot of people may not know at all.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Roberts from Hancock County. I think, based on the small sample size we saw from him last year, and we just heard from Coach Eubanks with that offensive line in front, I think they're going to rely on the run game a little bit. I think Roberts is going to be a stud at the running back.
See, I had one for there, too, but I had the other running back there, Basham.
You can't go wrong with
when
either
you're
one.
260 and you run like a 4.6 to 4.7 40, that's a load to bring down.
What you got? Thunder and lightning.
There you go.
In Hancock.
I think that's one that I like a lot, that I think is going to have a big year.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
Big one, too. This kid's going to be a stud.
Gotcha.
And maybe I'm biased because a family member may work here. I don't know. But Aiden Bolden from McLean County, speedy. He's going to be a tremendous defensive player as well. He was just a freshman last year, put up good numbers. I mean, as a freshman, in that fear of the wing, a lot of guys get to get their opportunity. Yeah. Aiden Bolden will make the most of it. He's fast, super fast.
I'll give you one that we talked about. People in Owensboro are going to go back, but we're going to hear us talk about it a lot because I think he's in for a huge year. And that's Terry from Tell City.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a physical specimen.
We saw him firsthand, standing right beside us.
Run a lot and going to put up big numbers. over in Tell City. I think that's a big one there, too.
People in Owensboro may not know Sawyer Gilliam, so if you don't know, you're going to hear a lot about him on the show.
I will say, too, another one out there in McLean County, come out for football, had a monster year on the baseball field, Whitaker. H.P. Whitaker. You put him in the linebacker spot. I know, but but on the football field, I think he's going to be big.
And a name I took out of the interview from Coach Mofield, Andon Dixon, running back from me. I think that kid could be a stud too. There's a lot actually that are under the radar in doing this fantasy football prep.
Edmonton's running back who ran for over 1,000 yards last year. Mills, for a team that was not very good. I also think Chafin, the quarterback down at Grayson's, in for a big year.
Oh yeah, and I was going to throw Van Meter in the mix, but I think he had too good of a year last year.
Most
to say he's
people
under the radar. I think he's going to have a monster year too. You go through every team and pick out a couple guys that I think are going to blow up.
That'll be a lot of fun.
I'm pumped, man. We're only 2 weeks away. Literally, 15 days from kickoff?
Yes,
tremendous.
We're right there. We're right there.
We got LA6.
We got an LA6.
All right.
You got time for it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. The Jets are the team on this year's Hard Knocks. I know you're a big Rodgers guy. How do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to come off on Hard Knocks this year?
If you love Aaron Rodgers,
like
no.
Kirk Cousins did, where more people, more fans?
No.
Or does he come off more like Mariota did in quarterbacks?
No, I think he comes off. If you liked him going in, you'll probably like him. He has a certain style. If you didn't like him, you're not going to like him.
Okay.
I mean, that's just he just is what he is. I mean,
do they sign Dalvin?
He does a week. I don't know. Dalvin thinks he's worth more than he's going to get. He screwed himself out of millions of dollars by not just taking the pay cut. And now he's asking the Jets for all this money. He's not going to get it, man. I don't know. It's a tough. And I love Dalvin, but man, you got to know the market. And his agent really failed him there. But no, I think Rodgers. You see him every week on McAfee. That's who he is. That is who Aaron Rodgers is.
Let me ask you this. Other than the Jets, was there any other team you'd rather see this year on Hard Knocks, or is it the perfect pick with Rodgers and the Jets this year?
I think it's a good fit. Yeah, I think that I would love to see the Vikings on there. But yeah, no, the Jets are a good fit. How about your Yankees? Rizzo on the IL after a concussion he suffered 2 months ago.
Well, there has to be some reason he's hitting like 117 since then.
Fire the team doctor, too. I mean, let's not let him get out of the way of Boone and Cashman. Just get rid of him, too. We're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow from the River Park Center live at 5.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultry.